The final score, Pwllheli 0, Wrexham 13. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC. And before I begin talking about the Wrexham team's spectacular performance, I think it's appropriate to have a talk first about Pwllheli. They were excellent hosts and are a great club. And I think that although the scoreline obviously got ugly for them, I think that the team can take a lot of credit for how they behaved here and how they played. Sorry. It was difficult for them. They conceded early goals that really took the game quickly out of their reach. But this is why I admired them. And you see that happen. You see teams' heads drop. Theirs didn't. They battled, they fought, they picked up injuries, they kept going, they kept trying to present a threat to us. Lois Thomas looked very hard-working up front. It was difficult to get support to her, but she still posed a threat, and Wrexham's defence had to be alert. And there were other, I thought, impressive elements in their performances. Charlie Davis at the back was consistently scrapping in the box. Leanne Rees-Williams showed quality as well, and you know, Sean Ebrahana fighting and battling, getting injured, keeping going. There was a lot of heart in the team. Sean Moore had a really good battle with Ava Suckley in the first half as well. There was a lot to admire, and also afterwards when they made alterations, players like Mary Owen came on, and Keely Jones, and looked to make a bit of difference up front, and they just kept working, kept going, even when the score was mounting up. They kept battling, and that's how you improve. I don't want to sound patronising in saying that, but on the day there was a gulf between the two sides, but Pwllheli kept working at it, and it's when you're being tested by a good team like that and you're able to keep working at it, it's when you get the benefit from your efforts. If you give up, you don't gain anything. The truth of the matter is Pwllheli had some nice passages of play during the game, but the difference in quality between teams often isn't what they can do, it's how consistently they can do it. And Wrexham were able to consistently get those basics right. Pwllheli had moments where you thought, wow, that's really nicely done. But then there'd be a lapse, and Wrexham were good enough to punish them. But hats off to Pwllheli. I admired them. I enjoyed going there. I'd love it if we go there again, because that was clearly a proper football club and really good people up there. It was interesting as well to see there were plenty of people supporting Wrexham who clearly were from Pwllheli as well. So that hope we have that we can be popular across North Wales, there was a little embodiment of it. It was really really good. Seeing fans looking to get Humphrey Carr's autograph or selfies, I think just showed this was also us representing the club in a place where we would like to be respected and liked, and that was good. That was really positive. The performance was exceptionally positive, of course. 4 changes from the side that lost to Cardiff. So Del Morgan dropped down to the bench alongside Louisa Doran and TJ Dickens. Rebecca Pritchard was left out of the side. And coming in, Charlotte Bolland in goal, Katie Sharp at centre back, and then Libby McKenzie behind the front line, and Ava Suckley on the left, initially at least. And wow, what a performance. Suckley put in with 6 goals. That was quite something. But it all started off, well, it started early, in all honesty, because Wrexham were able to get on top of the game in the opening stages and were 2 up after 7 minutes. And if I'm honest, that was a major, major blow to Pwllheli, which they struggled to recover from. Suckley was doing some interesting things. She was cutting in from the flank, but not in the same way as Amber Lightfoot, who usually plays in that position. Suckley, maybe more of a striker than a wide player, was taking up positions just in the half space, which allowed Erin Lovett to overlap a really good effect outside her, and also allowed her to come in and make up a real threat in the box, a second strike partner for Rosie Hughes. And I just realised I had a microphone miles away from me. I hope you could have heard me. Anyway, also Suckley had, like Rebecca Pritchard does, a nice knack of cutting in across the box and making a run from the par post to the near and catching defenders out. And that was how she got the first goal. Davis feeding to Lily Jones. She drove in a shot. Hughes couldn't hold on to it, and Suckley appeared out of nowhere, pivoted and from a tight angle, lofted a great finish inside to the far post to make Wrexham goal up. It wasn't long before it was two, as I said, as well. This time, Cara Jones receiving the ball and driving a powerful shot in from 25 yards. A fine strike. Gibbard did well to tee her up, but wow, what a hit by Cara Jones, who playing on the right-hand side was causing endless issues. However, Pwllheli, who, frankly, if the game had started differently, might well have been able to get a bit more momentum going, had a great chance to pull a goal back in 11 minutes. Charlotte Bollins came out of the box to intercept the ball, but mishit her clearance. The ball was squared to Thomas, who had a great chance with the keeper not yet back in position, but she chose to hit it early from outside the box and missed the target. Within a minute, Wrexham were back up the other end with an excellent break. Lily Jones feeding a fine pass to Rosie Hughes, who was one-on-one with the keeper. We know how those things finish, and yet, amazingly, it didn't. The keeper came out and stood up, and Hughes picks out the bottom corner, or tried to, and couldn't manage it. Now, soon afterwards, Hayley Rees-Williams, the keeper, had a horrible moment, but I really want to defend her over this. 15th minute, Lily Jones hit a shot from distance, didn't properly get hold of it, but it went through the keeper. It's the pitch's fault. Look at that goal again. It's the pitch's fault. The pitch was quite spongy and didn't move very well, but on this occasion, it's just the fact that the corners seem to drop off quite a lot more than you normally do see on a football pitch. And when you watch it, the ball bounces about 5 yards in front of Rees-Williams and takes a normal bounce, hops up. And then when it drops just in front of her, it feels like it just hits that slightly exaggerated slope in front of her and just goes flat. I mean, it looked awful. But if you look at it, keep an eye on the bounce of the ball, you realise actually she would have had to have great reflexes to be able to get to it. So it was a horrible moment for her, but it's cruel to see her as being solely to blame for it. However, that I think was a real punch in the guts for Pwllheli, who 2 minutes later conceded another. This time it was a lovely pass by Sharp forwards to send Lovett down the left. She fed the ball back, and Rosie Hughes was there. Tricky finish, rolling across her on a bobbly pitch, but she struck it with a bit of finesse. It was a lovely, elegant strike and put it into the net. There'd been a chance a couple of minutes earlier as well of Hughes prominent, setting things up well, and in the end, teeing up Cara Jones, who struck the ball from the edge of the area. A really good parry by Rees-Williams, which hopefully boosted her confidence a little bit. But the Wrexham kept pushing on. Mackenzie feeding Cara Jones, who tried another long ranger 25 yards out, just wide of the right post. And Wrexham got another when Phoebe Davis threw the ball towards the box. Mary Gibbard flicked it on nicely, and again, it was just like the first goal. Suckley, really quick to come out as a defender and the goalkeeper left it for each other, and another similar, having run from left to right, finish from a tightish angle, drilling it in. A defender on the line couldn't stop it from going in. So Wrexham, 5 goals to the good going into the half hour. Another major moment, a good ball over the top by Allen, and Hughes again one-on-one with the keeper. Managed to go round her this time to create an open goal, but just stumbled on that slightly unreliable surface as she was about to tap it in and just couldn't hit the target as a result as she was falling. Didn't make any difference to the score, of course, and Wrexham got another short corner worked out and back to Lily Jones. She swept on a good far post cross. Mary Gibbard got up to head the ball home with Katie Sharp right behind her looking to capitalise as well. And another goal came soon afterwards. Goals now coming in 2-minute intervals. On this occasion, it was Hughes doing really well to latch on to a really clever Phoebe Davis throw down the right-hand side. Hit the goal line, drew the keeper, pulled it back, and Suckley, again showing real predatory instincts, was there to drive home her hat-trick. Not her last hat-trick of the day. Pwllheli, like I said, showed terrific spirit and tried to fight back. Thomas hitting a shot just wide of the left post, but it was Wrexham who had the last chance of the half. Hughes doing really well to hold off a defender as the ball's knocked over the top. Great strength, but just couldn't quite get the right contact on the shot and sliced it off target. At the break, Wrexham made changes. Lily Jones was replaced by TJ Dickens. Jones had treatment late in the half. Let's hope she's okay. And Louisa Doran also came on to replace Erin Lovett. And Wrexham began as they left off. A corner from Dickens, swept in and Sharp getting up to head it just wide of the far post. Before in the 54th minute came the 9th goal. A lovely turn by Gibbard, and she fed it through to Mackenzie, one-on-one. She chose to take it early. Again, Rhys Williams, slightly unorthodox, had this very upright style coming out, which I think posed some issues for players when they're running on her. But Mackenzie kept her cool and struck it early from outside the box, neatly into the bottom left corner. That was a sign for more changes to be made, as Phoebe Davis and Rosie Hughes came off, and on came Spearing and Whitefoot, and they were playing either side. Up front now was Suckley in the middle, and Wrexham were pushing on. In fact, within a minute, got the 10th. This time it was Dickens with a superb pass from midfield, and Cara Jones drove down the right channel and smashed a powerful shot, which went rather through Rhys Williams' hands and into the net. Next opportunity, a quick Spearing throw-in and a decent strike towards goal by Suckley from about 15 yards out, was kicked away by the keeper. Suckley picked up the loose ball left side the box, improved the angle by cutting in onto her right foot, and then hit a nice chip which didn't quite come down in time. Before she got another goal, Dickens sweeping the ball in from the flank, Suckley with a free header, making absolutely no mistake at the far post. Gibbard then getting involved, lovely flick on to Dickens, who played a nice ball over the top. Whitefoot picked her up and fed Suckley one-on-one, but this time it was Rhys Williams getting the better of her and being able to make the save. Then Cara Jones with a decent ball in, which had 3 players lining up to knock it into an empty net, but the keeper, Rhys Williams, did ever so well to stretch and just palm it away over them and behind for the corner. From that corner, Dickens whipped the ball in. Doran on a stretch made contact 6 yards out and just couldn't quite steer the ball inside the far post. There'd be a cruel sting in the tail for Pwllheli. Wrexham started to show that they were going to finish strongly in the 88th minute. Cara Jones with a cross. Mackenzie stretching at the far post, an open goal, but she just couldn't get close enough to the ball. And although she made contact, wasn't able to convert it. Stretching, could only get a touch and knock it wide. But the goals clearly were still there to be had, and Wrexham picked up 2 more. Firstly, Dickens picking the ball up and feeding it to Suckley on the left, who cut it inside and struck a good strike from 18 yards into the bottom left corner to register her 6th goal of the game. And then in the 3rd minute of added time, Suckley again turning it on with a lovely little back heel. Whitefoot, edge of the area, showed great strength to hold off a defender, turned and calmly finished, setting herself and driving it past the exposed Rhys Williams. So, yeah, I mean, a fabulous performance by Wrexham. I genuinely think if that game had started a bit differently, Pwllheli would have made life awkward for us, but the early goals really set us up. Looking through the performances, well, Charlotte Bolland didn't have much to do, in all honesty. Across the back, right-hand side, Phoebe Davis, 2 clever throws set up 2 of the goals and was, as you can imagine, not too bothered defensively. Likewise on the left, Lovett in the first half was terrific in her interplay with Suckley. It was really exciting to watch. She popped up in great positions. A brilliant assist for Hughes. I mean, often the way Wrexham set up means that the wing-backs are more traditional, the full-backs are more traditional full-backs, really, sort of defending more than going forwards. But Lovett, given the opportunity, really showed what she's got. And will, maybe pose a few selectorial issues for Steve Dale, thinking, maybe I should release her a little bit more. The centre-backs, Katie Sharp, excellent in her first start of the season. Rock solid, a real threat from set pieces, and played a couple of great balls forwards as well. Really sharp, driving it into people's feet. And, Karen Allen is class act. I just enjoyed how she would bring the ball forward so calmly, how she'd use the ball so carefully. Just quality performance from an experienced player. In midfield, really outstanding performances in midfield. Lily Jones, went off at half-time, but she bossed the first half. I mean, she was just driving forwards all the time, playing ambitious early balls, which were finding their target to set up breakaways, pinging in shots on goal. She was terrific, battling for the ball. Outstanding all-round performance, following up from her player of the match performance against Cardiff. Mary Gibbard playing a little deeper than normal, I would say, in the double pivots. Absolutely outstanding. I mean, the transition play was great. Just bringing play forwards, developing the moves. The passing was accurate. She got 3 assists. It's not bad, is it? And she just was constantly involved, constantly breaking things up. A consummate performance in the centre of midfield. And then ahead of them, Libby McKenzie. But when the game early on, when Wrexham were just looking to establish that we would be on top, she was really good at finding space between the lines, stretching Pwllheli and getting into dangerous positions. She has a nice continuity play, feeding the ball on quickly to players in positions to break, and well deserved the goal that she got at the end. The front three, wow. Well, Cara Jones on the right, tremendous. I mean, really gave problems down the sides of the pitch. She was energetic, feisty, enjoyed hitting shots from distance and was striking them well, got the reward of 2 goals, but was just constantly getting around the outside, getting crosses in, cutting inside, getting shots off, really threatening. Rosie Hughes, well, I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? She got a goal, she got an assist, she only played 55 minutes, she was a constant menace, but she'll be annoyed with herself, won't she? She missed 2 1-on-ones. The pitch didn't help her with one of them, but yeah, she'll be annoyed. But the fact is, she put in a very good performance. And then player of the match has got to be Ava Suckley. 6 goals and an assist. And that tweak I mentioned at the start about her positioning compared to Amber Lightfoot, just giving us a little different option there, more of a striker than a wide player cutting in. But, equally both of them impressive goal threats. That was a real opportunity for some players to show exactly what they can do, and they took those opportunities. There were the substitutes as well, and they were impressive. TJ Dickens came in and just looked at a different level. She was tackling's great, accurate long passing was tremendous, and it was great to watch. She really put on a bit of a second half show, in all honesty. Also coming off the bench, Spearing and Whitefoot were both threatening it late on, just trying to get forwards and cause problems for the defence, both cutting in from the flanks. Whitefoot got her goal, of course, and Spearing's energy was impressive on the left-hand side in trying to get through and just try to make differences. And then Louisa Doran had a funny old time. She played well. Started off as left-back, then cut into centre-back. Sharp had to go to left-back briefly as we were rearranging ourselves, because in the second half, for a bit, we had Sharp, Doran, Allen as 3/4 of a back four, and then Cara Jones sort of converted as a progressive right back, so she could just go and attack all the time. It was interesting. But yeah, Doran was, again, as ever, looking to be constructive, knocking it forwards and threatening from set pieces. Didn't have that much defending to do, really, but did it all well. It was great stuff. It was a great performance. It was a nice day out. Had good fish and chips afterwards, so I'm happy. And a fine performance. Now we'll see how far we can progress in the Welsh Cup. But with a final score of Pwllheli 0, Wrexham 13, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.